couldn't take the heartache of failed transfers, miscarriages. Moved on to just traditional adoption and tried that route for a while. And every time we'd get a call, we would say yes, and then that wouldn't work out either. My name is Lyndsey Davis.
My name is Brad Davis.
We are in Knoxville, Tennessee. We tried to have a baby on our own for 10 years, and we did IVF 6 different times, and I would get pregnant, but then I wouldn't stay pregnant. Then we even moved on to just traditional adoption. There would always be some obstacle where a family member would take the baby or the children, and so I couldn't take the heartache anymore. And surrogacy was appealing to me because the law would be on our side. We could get a lawyer, the baby would be ours in the eyes of the law versus a birth mother who in the eyes of the law is on her side. We wouldn't have a guarantee of a baby, but if there was a baby, it was coming home with us, and that was very appealing. I taught pre-K at the time, and there was a parent in my class who was a surrogate for another family, and she kind of helped me learn about it. And so she put me in some groups on Facebook where you can match with people, and she got me started, and we matched with our surrogate on there. When we transferred Graham, that was the first transfer into our carrier, and it worked. Almost couldn't believe it because we weren't used to anything working. You begin with a contract with your gestational carrier, and the great thing about the contract is you can decide really what you want in it. You can put anything in it, the compensation, and then how you want the payments to go as the pregnancy progresses. You pay each time, and there's also provisions in there for her.
By using an attorney, we took a lot of the variables out of it. If the pregnancy was successful at the end of the journey, the baby would come home with us, and we could make sure that that was all taken care of up front with the legal paperwork. Having a lawyer involved for both the intended parents and the carrier allows both sides to be on the same page to ensure that there's not going to be any things that have been left out of contracts. It takes a lot of the risk out of it. I think the legal counsels help everyone think through all the scenarios that could possibly happen. And by doing that, everything is discussed up front and everybody is on the same page. When we first started working with Angela, it took a lot of the pressure off of us because of her expertise. We knew that she had all of the legal aspect handled. So it was just checking in to make sure that that process was moving along, but it really took a lot of the burden and relief off of us knowing that we had somebody that would take care of all of that for us. What stood out was the quality of the work and the expertise provided. Any questions that we had, she was able to readily answer. We were always confident that the advice that she was giving was the best that we could get. Angela's firm made the process very seamless. That allowed us to just enjoy the journey and take the legal contracts, pre-birth orders, all of that, and let someone else take care of that and relieve that burden from us.
The pre-birth order allowed us to go on the birth certificate at the hospital that we signed all the paperwork for both Graham and Miller. That was huge. When I saw that in my inbox, knowing that the judge had signed off on that, and then I would be listed as Graham Davis's mother, Miller Charles's mother, it was a special day both times when I opened that email to see that the judge had signed off, knowing that we would go right on the birth certificate at the hospital. Just a few weeks after we get home, we get the birth certificate and the Social Security card in the mail with our names listed on everything, and it's just such a great feeling to look at that and see that we're on there, and we know that's because of the work that Angela's firm did.
With the pre-birth order and having all of the legal documentation ready when Graham and Miller both arrived, at that point we felt like it was a normal situation. All of the past experiences were worth it. We have 2 healthy babies that came out of the process, and then you just got to start raising your children.
Our life now is wild and crazy with a 3-year-old and a 2-month-old, but it's the best life we could think of. It's what we always dreamed and prayed for. I'm just so thankful that surrogacy is out there for people that want a child. I would definitely recommend Angela's firm For someone looking for a lawyer that deals in surrogacy, she's very well versed in the laws of North Carolina. You would not have to worry about anything. You could just worry about bringing your baby home.